dear brother's death, the memory be green, and that it us be fitted to bear our hearts in grief, and our whole kingdom to be contracted in one brow of woe. Yet so far hath discretion fought with nature, that we with wisest sorrow think on him, together with remembrance of ourselves. Therefore our sometime sister, now our queen, the imperial joinstress to this warlike state, have we, as 'twere with a defeated joy, with an auspicious and a dropping eye, with mirth in funeral and with dirge in marriage, in equal scale, weighing delight and dole, taken to wife. Nor have we herein barred your better wisdoms, which have freely gone with this affair along. For all our thanks. Now follows that you know, young Fortinbras, holding a weak supposal of our worth, or thinking by our late dear brother's death, our state to be disjoint and out of frame. Colleagued with this dream of his advantage, he hath not failed to pester us with message, importing the surrender of those lands lost by his father, with all bonds of law, to our most valiant brother, so much for him. Now for ourself, and for this time of meeting, thus much the business is. We have here writ to Norway, uncle of young Fortinbras, who impotent in Madrid scarcely hears of this his nephew's purpose, to suppress his further gate herein, in that the levies, the lists, and full proportions are all made out of his subject. And we here dispatch you, good Cornelius, and you, Voldeman, for bearers of this greeting to old Norway, giving to you no further personal power to business with the king more than the scope of these dilated articles allow. Farewell, and let your haste commend your duty.
For that and all things we will show our duty.
We doubt it nothing. Heartily farewell. And now, Laertes, what's the news with you? You told us of some suit. What is it, Laertes? You cannot speak of reason to the Dane, and lose your voice. What wouldst thou beg, Laertes? That shall not be my offer, not thy asking. The head is not more native to the heart, the hand is more instrumental to the mouth, than is the throne of Denmark to thy father. What wouldst thou have, Laertes?
My dread lord, your leave and favor to return to France, from whence I willingly came to Denmark to show my duty in your coronation. Yet now I must confess that duty done, my thoughts and wishes bend again towards France, and bow them to your gracious leave and pardon.
Have you your father's leave? What says Polonius?
Hath, my lord, wrung from me my slow leave, by laborsome petition, and at last, upon his will I sealed my hard consent. I do beseech you give him leave to go.
Take thy fair hour, Laertes, time be thine, and thy best graces spend it at thy will. But now, my cousin Hamlet and my son,
a little more than kin and less than kind.
How is it that the clouds still hang on you?
Not so, my lord. I am much in the sun.
Good Hamlet, cast thy nighted color off, and let thine eye look like a friend on Denmark. Do not forever with thy veiled lids seek thy noble father in the dust. Thou knowest 'tis common, all the lives must die, passing through nature to eternity.
Aye, madam, it is common.
If it be, why it seems so particular with thee?
Seems, madam? Nay, it is. I know not seems. 'Tis not alone in my inky cloak, good mother, nor customary suits of solemn black, nor windy suspicion of forced breath, nor the fruitful river in the eye, nor the dejected hagier of the visage, together with all forms, moods, shapes of grief, that can denote me truly. These indeed seem, for they are actions that a man might play, that I have within which passes show, these but the trappings and suits of woe.
'Tis sweet and commendable in your nature, Hamlet, to give these morning duties to your father. But you must know, your father lost a father, that father lost his, and the survivor bound in filial obligation for some term. To do obsequious sorrow, but to persevere in obstinate condolement, 'tis a course of impious stubbornness. 'Tis unmanly grief. It shows a will most incorrect to heaven, a heart unfortified, and mind impatient, an understanding simple and unschooled. For what we know must be, and is as common as any other vulgar thing to sense. Why should we in our peevish opposition take it to heart? Fie, 'tis a fault to heaven, a fault against the dead, a fault to nature. To reason most absurd, whose common theme is death of fathers, and who still hath pride, from the first course till he that died today. This must be so. We pray you, throw to earth this unprevailing woe, and think of us as of a father. For let the world take note, you are the most immediate to your throne, and with no less nobility of love than that which dearest father bears his son, do I impart toward you. For your intent in going back to school in Wittenberg, it is most retrograde to our desire, and we beseech you, bend you to remain here in the cheer and comfort of our eye, our chiefest courtier, cousin, and our son.
Let not thy mother lose her prayers, Hamlet. I pray thee, stay with us. Go not to Wittenberg.
I shall at all my best obey you, madam.
Why, 'tis a loving and a fair reply. Be as ourself in Denmark. Madam, come. This gentle and unforced accord of Hamlet sits smiling to my heart in grace whereof no jocund health that Denmark drinks today. But the great cannon to clouds shall tell, and the kings roused to heaven shall brood again. Re-speaking earthly thunder, come away.
Oh, that this too sullied flesh would melt, thaw, and resolve itself into a dew. Or that everlasting had not fixed his cannon against self-slaughter. Oh, God, God, how weary, stale, flat, and unprofitable seem to me all the uses of this world. Fie on it, oh, fie, that 'tis an unweeded garden that grows to seed. Things rank and gross in nature possess it merely. That it should come to this, but 2 months dead, aye, not so much, not 2. So excellent a king, that was to this, Hyperion to the satire, so loving to my mother, that he might not beteem the winds of heaven, visit her face too roughly. Heaven and earth, must I remember? Why, she would hang on him, as if increase of appetite had grown by what it fed on, and yet within a month, let me not think of it, frailty, thy name is woman. A little month, or ere those shoes were old, with which she followed my poor father's body. Like Niobe, all tears, why she, even she, oh God, a beast that once discourse of reason, would have mourned longer. Married my uncle, my father's brother, but no more like my father than I to Hercules. Within a month, ere yet the salt of most unrighteous tears had left the flushing in her galled eyes, she married. O most wicked speed, to post with such dexterity to incestuous sheets, it is not, nor it cannot come to good, but break my heart, for I must hold my tongue.
Hail to your lordship.
I'm glad to see you well, Horatio, or do I forget myself?
The same, my lord, and your poor servant ever.
Sir, my good friend, I'll change that name with you. And what make you from Wittenberg, Horatio, Marcellus?
My good lord!
I'm very glad to see you, Bernardo. Good evening, sir. But what, in faith, make you from Wittenberg?
A true disposition, my good lord.
I would not hear your enemy say so, nor shall you do my ear that violence, to make a truster of your own report against yourself. I know not your truant, but what is your affair in Elsinore? We'll teach you to drink, deep you are depart.
My lord, I came to see your father's funeral.
I prithee, do not mock me, fellow student. I think it was to see my mother's wedding.
Indeed, my lord, it followed hard upon.
Thrift, Horatio, the funeral baked meats did coolly furnish the marriage tables. Would I had met my dearest foe in heaven, or ever I seen that day, Horatio, my father, methinks I see my father.
Where, my lord?
In mind's eye, Horatio.
I saw him once. He was a goodly king.
He was a man. Take for him in all. I shall not look upon his like again.
My lord, I think I saw him yesternight.
Saw who?
My lord, the king, your father.
The king, my father.
Season your admiration for a while, with this attendant ear, till I may deliver, upon the witness of these gentlemen, this marvel to you.
For God's love, let me hear.
2 nights together had these gentlemen, Marcellus and Bernardo, on their watch, in the dead waste in the middle of the night, been thus encountered, a figure like your father. Armed at point exactly, cap and pie, appears before them, and with solemn march goes slowly and stately by them. Thrice he walked by their opposed and fearful surprised eyes, within this truncheon's length, whilst they, still almost like to jelly with the active fear, to stand dumb and speak not to him. This to me in dreadful secrecy in part they did. And I with them the 3rd night kept the watch, whereas they had delivered both in time from the thing, each word made true and good. The apparition comes. I knew your father. These hands are not more like.
But where was this?
My lord, upon the platform where we watch.
Did you speak to it?
My lord, I did, but answer made it none. Yet once methought it lifted up its head and did address itself to motion, like as it would speak, but even then the morning cock crew loud, and the sound it shrunk in haste away, and it vanished from our sight.
'Tis very strange.
As I do live, my honored lord, 'tis true, and we did not think it writ down in our duty to let you know of it.
Indeed, sirs, but this troubles me. Hold you the watch tonight?
We do, my lord.
Armed, you say?
On, my lord.
From top to toe?
My lord, from head to foot.
Then saw you not his face?
Oh yes, my lord, he wore a beaver's up,
What looked he frowningly?
and a countenance more in sorrow than in anger.
Pale or red?
Nay, very pale,
And fixed his eyes upon you?
most constantly.
I would have been there.
It would have much amazed you.
Very like. Stayed it long?
While one with moderate haste might tell 100,
Longer, longer.
not when I saw it.
His beard was grizzled down.
It was as I had seen it in his life, a stabled silver.
I will watch it tonight. Perchance 'twill walk again.
I warn it will.
If it assume my noble father's person, I'll speak to it, though hell itself should gape and bid me hold my peace. I pray you all, if you have hitherto concealed this sight, let it be tenable in your silence still, and whatsoever else shall hap tonight, give it understanding but no tongue. I will requite your loves, so fare ye well. Upon the platform twixt 11 and 12, I'll visit you.
Our duty to your honor.
Your loves as mine to you. Farewell. I doubt some foul play. Would the night were come, then sit still my soul. Foul deeds will rise, though all the earth o'erwhelm them to men's eyes.